Well, hello there, I'm Kevin V, and today I feel like doing something I like to call Kevin's Top 7. Now what that is like many other kind of top 10 lists, only I'm doing 7, because 10's just, 3 too many. And 7's actually a pretty powerful number, I think, so yeah, let's do 7. Now today my top 7 list is about stories, more specifically video game stories. Since that's actually one component of a video game I really like the best, it's just the story aspect. It usually is what draws me into that game or franchise and just has me remembering it the most. But I still like some games that aren't exactly story driven because they can also be great as well. Alright, let's get this party started. Number 7 is Splinter Cell Conviction. Splinter Cell Conviction was my entry into the Splinter Cell series, and I generally really enjoyed it. The story is just so epic and so cool, It's told in the sort of interrogational past event style, yet still has plot points and elements to it that just make it just really awesome, such as Sam Fisher's relationship with his daughter, and just that whole conspiracy element too. And it's an awesome game that I definitely suggest for people to try out. Number 6 is Prototype. Now Prototype has sort of that conspiracy element as well, only the way it is told and the way you unravel this conspiracy is actually pretty damn unique. You consume targets to figure out what the fuck happened and what they're doing. Literally. I don't mean you're questioning them and investigating. You're actually consuming them. You become them. Their personality, memories of these targets just boom, go into you. Because you consume them with your cool, superpowers happening from a virus. It's something pretty unique and I enjoyed really a lot of. And eventually he figured out that what he is was not human. And I found that very kind of weird, but, in a good way. That you just kind of get that, figure out the information that, oh, I thought I was human. No, it turns out I'm not anymore. Especially the fact that the protagonist, Alex Mercer, can actually become a pretty good antagonist in the second game. That was just pretty unique for a character to have that ability. And number 5 on my list is Tony Hawk's Underground. Now, I enjoy many Tony Hawk games or skate games in general because their element of dicking around and just having fun, doing tricks that I obviously can never do. I mean, the only thing to my repertoire is a fast plant. That's really all. And being able to ride the board pretty damn well. So that kind of free roam element was awesome, but the story of Underground was unique. It actually had a story that I enjoyed in the Tony Hawk game. You're kind of a created skater that's trying to make his rise to fame and being a legend, but you're kind of assisted with your best friend, Eric Sparrow. And through the events and stuff that you go through, it's just kind of fun to do that and become a sponsored team, or be a part of a sponsored team, sorry. But the one thing that really was memorable and awesome was the backstabbing Eric did to you. What happened was you do a McTwist over a helicopter. Probably one of the most memorable moments of the game right there. So while you did that, Eric actually filmed it. And what he was supposed to do was submit the tape saying that you did it. Submit your kind of legendary legacy. Unfortunately, Sparrow did for himself. He submitted it saying he did it and thus shooting him to stardom and becoming that stereotypical celebrity douchebag became an asshole to you. That backstabbing really got to me. I actually hated a Tony Hawk character. Number 4 on my list is Halo 3. Now Halo 3 is actually my introduction to the Halo series in general. I've heard about it in the past and I've heard my friends love it and stuff, but I never really cared. But Halo 3 came around and I said, alright, screw it, let's try and see what this is all about. And I really enjoyed it. The story is just, sweet to see. A character like Master Chief, who seems to be kind of a stone cold sort of guy, who doesn't really talk much, doesn't really, he's there to fight, be a badass, and chew gum and whatnot. But I guess in this one, he was missing his AI companion, Cortana. So that search for her was something I really respected of Master Chief to do in this character and whatnot, as well as still fighting a bunch of Covenant and, stopping the world from being destroyed, or actually, sorry, all existence from being destroyed. And other than that, it was very awesome, and I really enjoyed that story, and I definitely want to go back to Halo 2 and Combat Evolved, which I do have. I want to beat those and see what the story was like before Halo 3, because I played Halo 4 and enjoyed it as well, and so the Halo story is awesome in general. Number 3 on my list is a game that you might not have heard too much of, Dantes Inferno. Dantes Inferno is just an awesome, sweet story, kind of more of a lovey-dovey story with badass elements. First, Dante gets assassinated by somebody. Death comes up and pretty much says, "Alright, buddy, I'm getting your soul. We're going to hell." Dante says, "Fuck you. I have stuff still to do." So he kills Death himself, takes his scythe, and goes back to his love. Unfortunately, the house that he goes to where his love was, shit went down and people were murdered. Even his dad had a cross through his fucking eye in the wall. So he finds his love, unfortunately, lying on the ground. And as her soul was raising from her body, the devil himself grabs her and takes her down to hell. Thus, Dante has to go down to hell itself and save her. It's just something that was really awesome, a love story that just, you don't have to say that you do. Like, you literally went to hell and back together, and that's just something I really enjoyed the most of. Number 2 on my list is The Darkness. The Darkness was a very interesting concept as well, a very interesting story. You play as the character Jackie Estacada, some guy who's a part of the mob and who's actually pretty stone cold. Next to his feelings and respects to his family, he had a little bit there, but he seems still a pretty silent and dark guy. He gets on his 21st birthday something called the Darkness, something that actually was pretty mysterious. Even I don't understand truly what it was. Basically what it does, though, is take over humans, take human hosts, and through them do destruction and whatnot that it wishes to do. I guess Jackie's kind of a different story, and he's trying to find ways to tame the darkness. Now, with him being kind of stone cold, there was one person that seemed to bring a light into him, something that actually was sort of his world. Jenny, a girlfriend of his who just was actually a sweetheart, and I actually fucking really enjoyed as well. She seemed to really bring Jackie human emotion and human traits. It was cool and awesome to see. Tragic stuff, of course, happens and whatnot, and it's just interesting also to see the darkness itself. It becomes the ultimate enemy of the game, but also your ultimate ally. Since you don't like the damn thing, but the damn thing helps a lot, with especially the fact that the mob in this game turns on you, and you need to kill a bunch of motherfuckers to, solve a bunch of shit. So, it was just interesting to see that, and I enjoyed a lot of it. And then with Darkness 2, I really enjoyed that it focused more on the Darkness's sort of origins and seeing what it really was, and other cool aspects and elements as well. It's a story that I definitely suggest people to check out, whether through the games or even, I guess they have comic books out as well. It's just unique, and I really enjoyed a lot of it. And I really, really hope that 2K will actually make a third game. It ended with a cliffhanger. It's a rich story that I must have ended for me. Maybe, hopefully someday. Number 1 on my list, which I kind of have to be biased towards because I just really enjoyed it so much, is Assassin's Creed. More specifically, Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations. Those 3 games were the Ezio kind of storyline, and I just enjoyed them the most. I've really enjoyed the Creed franchise's double story. Basically meaning this. In the present time, there's Desmond Miles. He's forced to do all this crap through the Animus, something that's actually projecting the story of the ancestor in the past. These 2 stories, I like how they kind of mend together and sort of assist each other. You're doing stuff in the past because you have to continue stuff in the present. And it's just something I've really enjoyed about Assassin's Creed. And so Assassin's Creed 2 with Ezio is just something, that character is just something I really enjoyed. It's one of my favorite characters of video games. It's also one of my favorite characters, of course, of the Creed franchise in general right now. I just really enjoyed him. With Creed 2 being that he's a sort of a rich playboy, whatnot. He sees tragedy, unfortunately, and then he has to go sort of the underground, the thieves and prostitutes and people that you would normally not give 2 words to, at least with his status back then. He actually had to go to because he was pretty much a wanted man, and he learned from them, and it was just awesome to see that kind of thing. That'll do it for my top 7 list. Make sure to thumbs up, and also make sure to comment down below your favorite stories. It can be from games, it can be from movies and books, anything. Make a top 7 of your own down below, or just tell me one. And also make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.